Hi, welcome. This is part 2 of a series of videos that I am doing about a year of painting that I just completed, and as I get ready to show some of the work from those and tell stories. If you're hopping on, please let me know if you can hear me. I feel like I've been doing live videos all day and having issues, so it's really important. If you're live, can you hear me? So, as I promised, I was going to show art, so we're just going to talk. This is actually not a piece of art from the program that I did. This happened before the program. Let me get my notes. Oh, jeez. I can actually keep this concise, which it has not been. So, why I'm here is I'm celebrating art that I created. I did a lot of painting. I've had a very productive year. I've done lots of things, and a lot of it is because of a journey and a program I went on with Jessica Serran for becoming artist. And yesterday I talked about the intro, so today I'd like to explain a little bit of what happened and what helped me along the journey, the lessons I learned. I think as I do this, I'm gonna just flip through the journals so you can have something interesting to look at. And I think this time, so I don't get sidetracked, because this is a lot of time to cover, I'm just going to start with the lessons I learned and then work the stories in. So, the lessons I learned in the middle is you can create anything you imagine, which that's kind of me as an artist. I've always believed this. And the next lesson I learned is plan and have fun while you watch it change, which is another lesson. Okay, I shouldn't be saying that I learned these for the first time, because these are lessons I've been applying to my life. Is that you need to make a plan, or you don't need to make a plan, but it's good when you make a plan. And because what's fun about plans is picking out the possibilities and seeing what you want to have happen, and then making the list and putting it down to see how it changes later. It's like the best part. Like, you should see some of the plans I had for when I was traveling. I wanted to work on a Freightliner boat and go you need a special certification, and I was gonna be on boats and get off at ports and travel the world for free. That was one of my plans. That didn't work. So, and that's exactly what happened to me on this program. Is the very first lesson we talked about was, what do you want? And like, we spent a week going, what do you want? What do you really want? What's important to you? What matters? What when you don't have to listen to the influence. And within that week, that first month, I don't really know, but it was almost instant. Like, I signed up for the program, how to be an artist, how to be successful. I'm going to do my, be seen, get out there, be productive, get in my studio. And then I was like, actually what I really want is to share my travel stories, and I want to drop everything and focus on that and write every day and start at the beginning. And that is about 9 years of travels, or that my travel took place over 9 years. And I want to focus on the life lessons I learned and inspiring people. So I got out I took a very special book that was a present to me for my birthday, a book I would have never paid for myself, because it is leather bound and a sketchbook and gorgeous and red. sketchbooks are usually black. And this became my sacred little secret, and I'm not going to show you all of it, dream of my 5-year plan to dedicate the next 5 years to writing my travel stories. And I've started those travel stories. They are on Medium. I've been publishing them a chapter at a time. I started at the beginning. I wrote from when I took my first road trip, starting at the age of 20, 3 months in a VW bug, traveling across the United States, and the experiences I learned and the lessons I learned. It started square one. And this is the book for my marketing and who I'm going to tell and who is it for and why. And let's just take a look at it. So, there's lots of lists, lots of secret big dream plans, but then we've got stuff of just me playing, and when I'm stuck and when I want to move things, I just paint and I make a mess, and then I try to make sense out of it. So here's one of the first coaching calls I did with in the group and becoming artist, and I was just listening and painting. And then later on, I came back through and put on an inspiring quote. This is a reminder when I needed an extra oomph. And again, this is just playing, and then I play and add stuff until it becomes something meaningful to me. So I really like here, it says, life is either a daring adventure or nothing. That's Helen Keller. And all these spots kind of became a sunflower. And I kind of did a little basket here to remind myself of, I won't hide my light. Don't hide your light under a bushel. And just flip through the fun. The art I don't mind because it's your own interpretation and what does this mean and what am I working on. I do take notes usually and journal after I meditate on this and look and think and reflect about what I was painting and what the new images mean to me. Here is, I was telling you how that foundation was my word for the year, and that I did, and then I picked the number 4 for because it's a good foundation number, corners. And so I kind of did a thing where I just tried to think of all the 4-letter words that would be something good to bring into this life of 4 and foundations for this year. This is a bakery bag. And that's a quote from Nanette Minley. She's like she's my fire. Her words will light you up. I recommend her. And yeah, so you can see I've got a ways to go, but this is only for things contributing towards my goal of writing my travel stories. Then, so next lesson. Next lesson is there's never the right time to change your lifestyle. And that was the lesson I had to accept because I signed up for the program in the summer that all my friends came to visit in Europe. And I think we had 6 or 7 different groups of guests that summer. And there was some guests that we dropped somebody off at the train station, and then the next day picked up more people. It was so much fun. And I knew this, before I signed up for the program. These plans had been in place a long time ago, and that didn't deter me. I was like, this is for a year, and I'm going to learn how to work, growth and self-improvement and heart change into my lifestyle. So we will figure this out, and there is a way. And not so much happened in the summer, but another lesson is body is a container for the creativity, so take care of it. And that is also part of the first book, the first lessons. So here is the 3 workbooks we had. So when you talk about keeping your ass in the studio, it's talking about taking care of the container, of creating the lifestyle you need to create around what you're bringing in, So one side of my container I realized was very important to me was health, because if I am not nourished and rested, my brain does not function properly, and my dreams and ideas and emotions, and I want to have a big enough space that holds all of it, and my space is stronger, my container is stronger when my body is stronger. My body is my container. And we're doing so much better on time than before. And part of that was the Ayurveda. Part of the body thing. One of the other lessons I picked up was one of my favorite podcasts to listen to is called "Don't Keep Your Day Job" by Kathy Heller. She also has a Facebook group with the same name, and it's all for creatives and enthusiasm and inspiring you to live your creative life. One of her guests was Sahara Rose, and she is all about Ayurveda, and she has a podcast called the Higher Self Podcast, and I've kind of moved to that one now because she is all about the same message of you are having a physical experience. You need to take care of your physical surroundings and your body and your health and your mind in order to, bring into existence your passion and your purpose and your dreams and your reason for being here. So has really changed my outlook on health. Look it, I have water. So, and then the other lesson I learned about myself, which is a little more tricky, was I have a very narrow comfort zone. And why don't I flip through this a little bit? We're not going to. This is something I would like to talk to you about another time. So if you're seeing this and you'd like me to do a separate live video taking you through this 40-day journey I did painting, let me know. But when I say I have a very limited comfort zone, it's because, not to be too elusive and stuff, but at one point I didn't trust Jessica anymore, and it was about 3 to 4 months into the program, and I didn't trust the program, and I didn't think it was necessary since I was writing, since my goal was to write and not to be an artist for a while, and it was the talk we had when I was planning to leave, when I had made the decision to leave, that actually changed my perspective and helped me understand what Jessica had offered. And I think it helps others. I think it would help others because it was in the conflict that she didn't try to change me, didn't try to tell me I was wrong, didn't try to, I don't know, she just was like, and then she asked me questions for self-reflection, gave me some things to try, offered me solutions to help me feel better and feel safe, and we opened it up to, to actually come to the understanding that, like, the big reason I didn't the biggest reason I wanted to leave was I didn't feel safe sharing myself in this program. And it was like so it was such a great lesson, because it was such a lesson in authenticity. Yay, 40-day journey. We'll do that. Thanks. Is it Terry or Theory? Sorry. Yeah, I will. That one's been processing for a while. I think it could become something. And I probably should share that. My 40 days of art journaling that actually turned into 100. But anyways, and it was the conflict, not even conflict, but the difficult part, going through the difficulty, and when it was actually directed at Jessica and how she handled it with such grace and openness and space, I was like, oh, this is what she's about. Like, she really just allows and encourages people to identify and be themselves, and then invites them to try a different way. So I continued on, and I really took that to heart and started, and that really helped me learn the lesson of what do you want. From the very first, that was from my first video yesterday. And so I feel like maybe I am Terry. That's what I thought. Good. Maybe I'm missing something, but if I'm not missing something, I would like to just go through a few sketchbooks. What I have to show you isn't that much, because surprise, surprise, I did my writing instead, which I think I mentioned is on medium.com, and I hope I've had to redo this video so many times I don't even know what I've said in this one. So, travel stories on medium.com. So this is the sketchbook I was almost done with when I started the program. This is how much I had left on it. Another thing I do is I illustrate people's dreams, Usually that means, visions and dreams for themselves and their emotions they want to capture. But one day when I was feeling fun and silly, I just asked people weird dreams that would make interesting illustrations. And my friend totally came through for me and told me about her dream about velociraptors doing jujitsu in bathrobes. So that was fun dream to illustrate. So I'm going to take you through a sample of what an illustration of an illustration. Back in, so we're covering what the messy middle is. And the messy middle is difficult, right? But the thing we need to learn is that it's part of the process. That there's this part that might not make sense, but if you can just keep working through it, you can have good results. So my very favorite thing about sketchbooks is these are my living examples of what I am going through, of creating. Like, I have an idea in my head, and my sketchbook is the first place it comes into reality, and it's like magic. This is the magic. This pencil scribbles. So we are going to talk about this painting that I struggled with for over a year. And I've struggled with a lot of paintings, and this program has opened up. I solved a lot of things this year. I put this is part of a series I'm doing with Joshua Burkhart. I'm going to do a little shout out for him. He does astrology and he brings like the spiritual realm into everyday life. So he also helps with mental health and nutrition and relationships, but he does it in like the cosmos style. You can find him on Paths of Transformation. He and I have a ongoing, almost complete commission exchange where it's 7 paintings. This is number 6 that I got stuck on. I got stuck on number 6, and it's supposed to be the 7 luminaries, the 7 planets of the astrology. So this was the sun, and I had sketched this who knows when. This is back before January. It's back a while ago. I sketched it out. I put it on the board. We figured it out. It was we were gonna have, let's see if I can make this. We're gonna have a curtain, like stars, a sunrise, very cloudy, pretty colors, sunrise colors, a sun, a lotus. There's gonna be a guy in the lotus with a harp. And then as the sun rises, there's these animals and grass growing, and then it goes from grass growing to stone, and the animals are coming out of the grass. And if you can't see that, I sketched it in better later. Let's see. I redid it. I got it a little more clear, a little more detailed. You see there's a lion, maybe you can see the flower. This is a body of water. You can see where I was like working with sizes and colors and how the person is lounging. So I thought I had a plan. I put that on my board. I put it on the watercolor paper. I got ready to draw or to paint it, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the picture. I didn't get it. I had the animals wrong. I had the perspective wrong. And it was sitting for over a year, and I finally pulled it back out this year, and I actually had to go back to Joshua, and we had to talk, and we were like, let's revisit, this painting, because this is the painting this is what helped me realize how far wrong I was. Because when it was on the watercolor paper, I was like, let's just test this out and see what this is going to look like color-wise and stuff, and see if I can see it. And like I said, I can usually see it, and this is how I figure things out. And I painted this, and I didn't like the shapes at all. I didn't like how flat, even though this is different colors and stuff, I couldn't see this, so it's too faded. Just painting this, I was not happy about. So that's when I went to Josh, and he was like, you know what, I was actually thinking it would be more of like a low sunrise, clouds in the sky, the shadows, the animals would cast these shadows, and it would be very kind of dramatic and that meadow kind of idea. And so he changed my whole perspective, and I was like, oh, that's a different drawing. That is a different painting. So here is my actual painting. Over a year later, my drawing, I mean. And I was like, this is drama, shadows, you know, more of a landscape. You can see, especially when you compare, even just comparing. And that is life. That's the messy middle. Sometimes it takes a redo, because you can make something. And this is painting number 6. And I will do a special thing on this when we get number 7 done, which will be later this year. And this was like such a breakthrough. It makes me so happy to look at this painting. Yep, because that was a struggle. And it was one of these, and the neat thing about it, and the stuff we'd been talking about on coaching calls, is like, what did I need? What did I want my art to be like? And the word I forget all the time is fun. And so even when I went with this new idea, this is tricky stuff, tricky lighting and clouds. I struggle with, especially ones with different colors. So I did lots of research, and my research is Pinterest. And I looked at Pinterest, and oodles of suns and different animals being backlit, and beaches, and trying to get, ground that is grass but rocky. And I looked and I looked and I looked, and one day I was sitting right here. This is where I paint, and I had up all the images of references. I had this blank paper, and I was like, you know what? I'm an artist. I've been doing this. I can figure this out. I'm not going to deal with this back and forth looking at my computer screen trying to paint nature. I'm going out in nature. So I went outside, no reference photos, and I painted most of this as is, without looking at much of anything. So, is there anything else? Any questions? Anything I'm forgetting? So, yes, the whole point of this is I'm supposed to leave you teasers, so I want to show you what I will be showing you tomorrow. Things that came about. There is a painting I'll be showing you tomorrow. There is 4 ladies. There is penguins. There is ice. They are here. Here's all the mess of me trying to get them out. That is now a complete painting that I am celebrating. And this is one of my favorites. This is my personal favorite because the sketch is so terrible and so what's the word? So, you just can't tell what it is. I will tell you what this is. I can look at the sketch and read it. This is because it's my drawing. So, what we have here, I'm going to, and I will show you the fit. You'll get to see the, I want you to remember this, because this is the first paint. This is the first image I put down of one of my very favorite paintings I did this year. I am slightly biased. I try not to be. But I could see it so clearly and so plainly in my head. And I was so excited to get it down. And I just had to take a couple notes because you kind of have to do some composition and shading stuff, values. And so I sketched this out. This is the only thing I sketched out before I started drawing on the board. And you'll see what it is, maybe. This is a little octopus. This is some hair-ish. This is a mermaid. You can just see where I made her knee. What is that? The bend and then mermaid. And rocky, coral foreground, coral in the background, a little circle maybe you see it, and stuff representing a coral garden. So I will show you that finished painting tomorrow. And if you have any questions, if there's anything else you would like to know, please put it in the comments, and I will either answer it in the comments or I'll try to answer tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Yeah, I'm just figuring out I just feel like I'm missing something. No. Thank you, Terry. Yay! Yes. Messy middle is an example. Is a adventure, isn't it? Oh, I did want to say, the part I didn't, that was the messy middle, and then what kind of happened at what came into the end, this program ended just, well, a couple months ago, so it, COVID happened, and that's how my program basically ended, and that changed everything else, and that's going to be a separate video, probably after the art. But once COVID happened, once it began, Germany was locked down, and that's when we need art to look at while I talk about this. That's when I began, we'll just go back to the 40-day, more previews. That's when I began to, that's when I realized, I was like, this is the time, COVID is the time that I can actually sit and do my art. Because another thing that happened, is I found my dream job, which happens to be working at an Irish pub. It's a time in my life. If you were at yesterday's video, I did not have a job, and I was wondering what to do next, and the difficulty of finding a job when your when your German isn't so great in Germany is a challenge, and I found, so I was happy there. I was in flow with my program. I was in flow with my 5-year plan to do my writing, and then COVID happened, and then I went and paused my 5-year plan because I was like, I do have commissions to fulfill, for the people that helped me. I do owe them their paintings. I do need to fulfill my end of the deal. And so I was like, COVID is my time to hit this hard and serious. And so that is what I've done. I painted the paid for people that who had prepaid for commissions. I did those, and we will talk more about that in another video. And I'm gonna stop here. This is my favorite of the 40-day. So for those that you've watched, you have a little teaser for something else I would like to talk to you about one day. And you have more of what we will be covering tomorrow, which is beautiful paintings. Paintings! I'm so happy. Alright, thank you for listening, and we'll see you. Bye.